My name is Ella Fields, and I'm a filmmaker and artist based in Los Angeles. My film is called Bloom. Bloom is a claymation and live-action hybrid film about a sexual assault and all of the emotions that come along with it. The entire film, not just the film, but the emotional world around it, was a huge challenge for me to overcome. The one specific challenge that I can pinpoint, however, was I had just shot the first scene of the film. I went to my garage the next day to shoot some more, and everything I had done was just deleted, and I have no idea why. I knew I was going to have to rebuild these characters and reshoot this scene, and I was on a super tight deadline, and I remember thinking at that specific moment that I had no idea how I was going to finish the film. So picking myself up from that moment really wasn't easy, but having this sort of clean slate really allowed me to try out new techniques that I hadn't done in the first shot. I learned that a really great way to make the flowers appear to be blooming, to shoot the flowers being destroyed and then to reverse it in post in order to give the effect of them sprouting up and blooming. Some of the techniques that I learned from this challenge too really helped down the line. There was one scene where I really wanted the shadow to grow on the wall, and I wasn't quite sure how to do that, and I experimented with the characters, moving them closer and further away from the light source in order to project that shadow onto the wall. Another process that I went through was really carefully mapping out the amount of shots that I was going to need, the amount of seconds that I wanted. This is where math class came in handy, although a calculator also came in handy. I knew I wanted to shoot in 24 frames per second, so I multiplied the amount of frames with the amount of seconds. So I knew exactly how long each shot was going to be and the exact amount of frames that I was going to need for each shot. I originally shot this film to a song that is not the final score, but I used it as a temp piece. So it really edited itself as it went on because I already had it edited in my head. From there, I had my dad go in and score the film, which it was a really cool experience to work with a composer. One thing I learned from that was to speak to the composer as if you're speaking to actors. I'm not super versed in musical language or which instrument emits which emotion, but just telling the composer what emotion I wanted to capture in which parts of the film. He was able to really do his job in creating those emotions with his knowledge of music. So when I was younger, I was always creating things. When I was 6 years old, my dad gave me this little cheap flip camera. I have a younger sister and we've always been super close. Together we would just make little short films when we were like super tiny. When I was 11, I had the most wonderful opportunity to study film in middle school. So I went to Millikan Middle School, and I'm now in the film program at Champs Charter High School in Van Nuys. I have a film in post-production right now called Caterpillar Kisses. It's an experimental film about the process of falling in love and having your heart broken and how the different versions of ourselves throughout those times interact. I will be venturing into film school in the fall, which I am so excited about. It's just what I love to do most, so I'm very lucky to have the opportunity to do it.